Tuesday nights. Again.
Another week flying by. Can you hear? Let me know if you can hear me all right. If I need to talk louder, I can talk louder. Maybe. So, this piece right here.
First time I saw it.
I always lose stuff. I often lose stuff. And I'm going to work on not losing stuff more often.
On a more regular basis. That distracted me.
I'll let you know when I find out when I figure out how to not lose stuff. So I asked you earlier, I said, hey, did you see that little piece of metal that I was playing with?
Right. And I said, no. Why? Because you took it from downstairs, you set it up here, and you showed me that instead.
I don't know if that's what happened.
Yeah.
But it ended up here. So, what is this, you asked?
This guy would give you the bed right off his back.
It wasn't on my back.
But if it was, he'd give it somewhere.
Maybe. Yeah, because it would be heavy.
It's a heavy load to bear.
Oh.
That's a mosquito.
Good. Let's kill it.
Female. You can tell.
So, this is MT Knives Live, where we talk about whatever we want to talk about.
What'd you do today? Your wife says, hey, we're going to have company. So you go, good, I'll build a bed.
Yeah.
And you got all craftsman with it.
You know, yeah. I thought about buying a bed, but you know, when you buy a bed...
That's not very DIY.
When you buy a bed, they're expensive.
And they're cheap.
They're cheaply made. Poor quality.
Yeah.
So, my wife invited some people over. They're over now, actually. We had somebody coming into town from California. And she's like, we have a cabin you guys can stay in. And I was like, that's great. We don't have beds for the cabin. So anyways, we ended up ordering some beds. I didn't make those. But I decided to make a bed. And I got some cedar that we milled off the property. And I thought about making something out of it, making something out of wood. And then I decided, we had one bed frame. It's an old bed frame, made right.
I was going to ask, how old is that thing? Because it's solid. They used to build it to buy it.
It's got cast iron like fittings, sockets that kind of go together, and it's angle iron, and it's got some ornaments, rails. You know, it's a good quality bed. It's lasted probably, I want to say hundreds of years, but probably not hundreds of years, but
from the 1900s.
Over 100 years old, probably. Still works great. So, anyways, then I decided, you know what? I'm going to just do something simple, because it's barely simple. It's kind of a simple bed. I have angle iron, and I have some tubing. I'll just throw together a bed, because I can weld.
A nice simple
one. So, anyways, I don't know. What would you say? I worked on it a day and a half.
You started yesterday, huh? That's when you lost that piece.
It's still not done. It's finished. It's
functional. It's functional.
I got to paint it still. So I literally just finished it up before going live. Yeah. But all that to say, this piece. So I've got some 2 inch by 1 inch square tubing, and I cut this piece to weld onto the end, and then I had some bolts, not this bolt, but a bolt this size, bigger, longer, and I welded nuts and welded this onto the end so that I could bolt grade 8 bolts. And then, you know, I get the build done, and I was like, I had no idea why I wanted it to come apart. But it'll come apart. Storage, I guess. You know, but if you ever tried to move a bed frame into some place, sometimes they come apart.
Not everyone has 5 foot wide hallways.
Right. But I only made the legs on the bed 12 to 14 inches tall to match the height of the other bed. Somebody goes through the door. I got it all done, but I was like, I probably could have just welded that and saved a whole lot of time, whole lot of effort. You live and learn.
Right.
You know, whenever you get done with the project is the best time to figure out how you should have done it. But sometimes you just gotta do stuff. And, yeah. So that's what I've been up to. So the last time we were live, we had a storm to blow through. I should take that nasty thing out of the window. And the last time we were on that side of the room.
Yeah, other corner.
We've got a little more done now.
We did.
So we're knocking out room by room. Hopefully, going to be ready for some flooring here in the next
Hardwood flooring.
hardwood flooring. So I'm going to do it the hard way too.
Yeah.
Not sort of.
Yeah.
I was debating on whether or not to buy pre-finished flooring, and the advantage to it was you could just lay it down, move in and use it, or lay it down, sand it, and finish it. And when I say sand it and finish it, I mean hire somebody to come in and sand and finish it. I would like to sand and finish floors, but who am I kidding? Like, I ain't got time for that. I got beds to build. So, that's what I've been up to. What does this have to do with knives? Nothing at all. If you're here for knife related content, we'll get there. But right now, we're just going to talk about life. So, can you hear me fine? Any comments, Gooey? No comments?
I'm the only one watching you right now.
You're the
only
only
fan.
one?
Yeah, only fan.
You know, I wonder if, you know, I guess you're
It
watching
did, there was
live.
2 earlier, so.
Two? They
Yes.
left.
Yep.
Man, I guess maybe they don't like hearing about my bed making
Guess
abilities.
We don't have it to show off here. So. Some people are more visual.
Make beds great again. Somebody's gonna think now that I'm a Trump supporter or something. Wait, if I say that, do I get banned on YouTube? Can you say that on YouTube?
Trump supporter?
I don't know. Like, all of my one watchers
Yeah. Are you still
They're
there?
Well,
gonna judge you.
tell me if they shut my feed down. Too bad your kids aren't watching right now. They'd be getting a good laugh.
They would. They think it's funny.
So, in other news, this knife that I so passionately sharpened, I made a mistake. I attempted to use a drill as a lathe and use my knife as a turning tool, all while attached to a carbide teeth pole saw. And yeah, the carbide teeth kind of won on this edge that was so nicely sharpened. I don't know if you can see it, but it is quite the damage about right there. So I need to touch that up, but what else? What were we talking about last time when we were having a good
going pretty good.
conversation?
That
But I
was
don't remember
It's
what
off to a good
we
start.
were talking about. Oh, I was going to talk about truth tonight.
That's good, don't lie.
Don't lie. We talked about that a little bit. I was listening to the Lean Built podcast. Andrew Henry from Henry Holsters and I forget the other co-host. Anyways, they had a good recent episode talking about truth in advertising. And they were talking about people, they talked a little bit about people who sell scarcity in the knife market or in any marketing. Scarcity is a powerful selling tactic. And
I fell for it this morning.
you fell for it.
I did.
This was scarce, and I would have paid good. No. What did you?
Well, see, I like to order trees because I have
Oh.
property and I have trees, and I want more that I can eat. Acorns are edible, but like apples are tastier than acorns.
Yeah.
It's just and what happened is it went live on the 2nd of September, but I don't know when. So I'm like, well, last year I tuned in early and they were out of hazelnuts and out of pawpaws like right away. And I'm like, it was early. It was like, I don't know, 6, 7 a.m. So I'm like, I'm not going to fall for it again. So I stayed up past midnight last night, looking at midnight, no, 12:15, no. Okay, wake up at 2:30 in the morning, use the restroom. I'm like, check, no. I wake up at 7 o'clock, they're out of hazelnuts. So I'm like, okay, well, throw some pawpaws in, throw some of this, throw some of this, throw some of this, boom, order. Because it says right there in red letters, like, if you don't order right away, there may not be quantities. I'm like, so then I went back and actually kind of selected all the stuff I wanted, which doesn't get added to my previous order, which means some of the bundle and save deals were not there, which means there's a second processing fee, a separate shipping fee, plus I probably ordered like 50 more pawpaws. Well, 150 would have been this much, but to order 100 and then add so I had 2 orders because of scarcity.
Right.
Nice red letters. You might miss out, and I'm like, I've been there. I had to wait a year because I missed out last year.
Yep. But that that goes back to having integrity and a lot of marketing. My wife hates marketing. She hates sales because a lot of marketing and sales can be deceptive. A lot of people are falsely creating, chumming the waters, so to speak, to create that buying frenzy. And anyways, it was a good topic, and it was something like I've tried to have integrity in my business and not sell scarcity. But at the same time too, like this is a struggle for me that, they mentioned knife makers because at the bottom line, like at the end of the day, and they made a good comment, like maybe as a knife maker you choose like, hey, I don't want to make 10,000 Genesis knives. So I'm going to make 25 and I'm going to create scarcity, but it's a manufactured scarcity, but hey, it's not wrong to say, hey, I don't want to make 10,000 of the same knife. And, like I struggle with the whole wait time and, like how long does it take to make a knife? Because a knife could take a day to a week to make. But the truth of the matter is like right now, if somebody said, hey, I really, really, really want a knife, and, I'm not going to charge them $10,000 to make a knife, but if somebody said, hey, I got $10,000 if you can make me a knife in the next month, guess what? I'd make that person a knife, and it's priorities and just I don't know. And then two, on the same token, I had one of my vendors I worked with who, now this is a little bit different because he missed a deadline for me, and I felt like he should meet the deadline or go above and beyond to make up for missing the deadline. So I offered him, I was like, look, I'll pay your guys' overtime to come in and just get my stuff done. I understand you guys have work, and he's like, yeah, well, we don't do that, and whatever. So it's a tough deal because you have to have boundaries about what you're going to do, and not just somebody flashes money in front of your face, to do it. But it's that balancing act of, I don't know. You got any thoughts on that? Like, I think it's a little bit, it's not, you got to be able to say no. you got to have your boundaries, but also too, you don't want to just be somebody that's like only motivated by money.
Right. But I think even back to the deadline and other things, if you give someone a timeline, a price, a quote, a something, it's better not to do that in the first place than to do that and fall through. And if you do fall through, you have options.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to, you can do the extra stuff ahead of time. I remember once we had to get a certain number of orders out at a job I was at, and I went to the boss. I said, "Do you guys actually want to do this or not? Because there's a way to do it, and we can do it. But if we keep doing what we're doing right now, we're not going to get there." So they said we did. We changed a few things, got the stuff done. But if you fall short, yeah, what do? You just kind of become that guy who
Yeah.
really then no deadline matters, no verbal agreement matters, no nothing matters. You don't want to be that guy. And I think even the manufactured scarcity, what is the number one reason to have a limited time offer? Which is extremely common.
Yeah.
I mean, if I've got a good product that's going to bring a good price, I will sell that thing forever.
Mm-hmm.
But the limited time offer, at least saying it and putting it out there, that's to create scarcity.
Well, and there's like another sales tactic is the warranty. Like, well, we guarantee it or your money back. Well, sure, that's great, but companies do that. They slap a satisfaction guarantee on a product to sell it, and I don't market it, but I've had people that have gotten knives and said, "Hey, you know," and when I say people, I mean like 2, 3. Somebody most recently is like, "Hey, I got, you know, I don't know, I got a Talon or I got a Genesis, and it just I don't like it." I'm like, "That's fine, send it back," you know, and if it was a common problem, I would have to like charge a restocking fee or something. But a lot of times I'll just eat that. I'll give them a full refund and I'll send them, you know, they can send the knife back to me and I give them a refund. But it stinks as a business owner when that happens. But the alternative is one, if I told the customer no, they could do a chargeback and I could be stuck with nothing. Or 2, I could have somebody out there who bought a knife, wasn't happy with it, and now like wanted to return it, and I'm just the jerk that said no, you know.
Right.
And so the hard thing about doing business online is a customer can't pick up your product, look at it, handle it, and decide, yeah, I don't like this, or pick it up and decide, hey, I like this, I want to buy it. So that's just how I like to do business, and it stinks if you have somebody return it, but it doesn't stink as bad as them telling their friends or telling people, man, I bought this knife and it's lousy.
Right. And that word gets around.
Right.
Right.
So
I recently had a purchase. It looked entertaining to me. I figured I'm at least going to test this out. Something fun for me and the children. And part of what this company was offering was a quarter pound of, you know, different coins from around the world.
I thought you were gonna say cheeseburger.
Oh, no, not a quarter pound cheeseburger. But I'm like, okay, that seems neat. And they have a picture. Okay, the picture looks nothing like, you know, what they're selling, because of course it's not a quarter pound of coins, but also there's quite a variety. I got the thing. First of all, it weighed less than a quarter pound. Like, I've done online sales before. I've made a lot of money off my garden just selling extra seeds and stuff. And there's no way that if I say to somebody 25 seeds, that I'm ever going to put 25 seeds in there. Because I do not want the opportunity, especially when I have my little children helping, of having 22, 23, 24, them being like, hey. So I always put above and beyond, but I can't say I'm charging you for 25 seeds if I know I'm never going to do it. I'm always going to put 26, 27, 28, you know. So what I do is I put 25 minimum because I want to be true.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not going to, you know, hit the number. So we put that in there, and then they don't have an opportunity to have a miscount. Well, it's lightweight. First of all, it doesn't weigh what it weighs. And then the interesting thing, too, do you know that a third, I think it was a quarter or a third of the weight, was Canadian pennies? And over the vast majority of the coins were Canadian and Mexican. You know, so you're selling to the United States. You got the stuff from the borders there, and there was a couple from around the world. I think I'm actually going to put out a review video because I see it advertised quite a bit, and I just don't want anyone else to. I want them to know ahead of time what they're getting involved in because they weren't truthful with the you know, the quantity, the weight, and if that's what you're selling, I think it's ridiculous.
Back when I was a kid,
Yeah, the nickels were made of wood.
they used to say, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. And I think that, you know, as you go through life and you have experiences like that and stuff, you start understanding, like, and then the other saying is, nothing in life is for free. And, you know, that a simple person would say, well, that's not true. I got a free sample at Sam's Club. Yeah, but it wasn't free. One, your membership paid for it. Two, even if it was free, Sam's Club had to pay the bill. So no matter if you get something free, somebody is paying that bill. And that's something kind of we miss nowadays. Everybody wants free health care and free education and free this and free that. There's no such thing as free.
But if they raise my taxes, won't I be able to get all that stuff for free?
Reminds me of the Saturday Night Live skit of like how to get out of debt. So I don't buy anything if I don't have the money for it. Like, or
Right.
it's really simple. It's
I remember.
you don't buy anything if you don't have the money. So if I want something and I don't have the money,
Should I just swipe my
do I
credit card?
buy it anyways?
No.
No. No. So, anyways, life has been busy, and these Tuesdays roll around quickly, and I'm looking forward to getting some things done to where I'll be able to do some more fun lives with more content knife related. But if you're following me for these lives, they're going to be what's going on in my life. And right now, it's a whole lot of construction and things like that. Anything else? So I did some more sharpening with the Edge Pro. I guess last week I broke this Edge Pro out. Something I did not think about with this Edge Pro, I'll show you here. So, I'll go ahead and throw my knife back on it. Oh, it's so bad. I messed it up so good. Let's see, I was sharpening, I don't even remember. But, one thing I did not think about with this Edge Pro, it's going to need the stupid coarse grit. Is maybe I mentioned it. I don't think I did. But my glasses. One thing I did not think about is fine, right-handed. Maybe I talked about this last week. I don't know. But it's a little awkward. I'm not ambidextrous. I mean, I don't know a way around using this sharpener all with your right hand, which is good. I mean, I think I might have talked about using it both hands yet last week, but there's another sharpener on the market that's got having to hold this knife, and different knives are going to be better to sharpen on this. The nice thing about not having it clamped down to this is, especially if you're doing a large knife, you can move it and it's quick. But with a small knife like this, it's trying to sit on the bevel of this knife. So depending on how you have it on here, it's not quite as sturdy as I'd like. But, you know, every system is going to have its limitations. I like freehand sharpening, but I definitely think there's a place for a tool such as this. Question is where, but. So, anyways, I have company here, so I'm going to get out to my company. Bob Pepper here was here helping me again. Thank you very much. We got a lot of work done
Looks
last
different.
couple of days.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week. And, yeah, all sorts of. Is there any questions, Gooey? Any comments?
Nope.
Any more watchers?
Yeah, you have 6.
6! Wow. Does
Do
anybody
they have any questions before we go?
Yeah, you got any questions before I go?
Since they showed up.
All 6. Is there anything you guys would like me to talk about? Besides making beds and stuff like that? No comments. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys for jumping on here. If you would, hit that like button. You want to tell them where they can find your channel?
Yeah, Papa Pepper is my YouTube channel. Gets a lot of random stuff on there, but a lot of homesteading stuff, just life, but sometimes good different gardens, edibles, animals, that type of stuff, because we like to live a life that makes sense, take more things in our own hands, and provide for ourselves so we're less of a consumer, less dependent, and more self-sufficient.
Thank you very much for watching. This, once again, is Patrick with MT Knives. You guys have a great evening. Out. Stay sharp. Did you figure out how to end it?